Hello, everyone. Happy day. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, good whatever, wherever you may be. I have another Tsa Tsa update. These are the ones that I was primarily working on yesterday, and they are actually still drying. These, actually starting here and on, are some that I made today, and then I've been also working on the green Tara ones. And I just wanted to share a few more tips with you. So, you may recall me saying that I created my own clay, and I attempted to double the recipe last night, which turned out to be a failure. It did not work at all, did not work good. And this is kind of where we have to just learn to accept that failure is going to come and things are going to constantly be changing. So I wasted ingredients. That's okay. They're not very expensive, the ingredients that I used to make my own clay. So I went back to making the amount that I did yesterday that worked. And it actually only turns out to be 4 ounces of clay at a time. But the point is, if you find something and it works with your molds, don't change it. Or if you do change it, be prepared for it to possibly fail and maybe having to start all over again. And then these are some I worked on today. You may notice there's a color change here, starting here through here. These are not dirty or anything like that. They're made with the same clay that I made these white ones from, but I've gotten to a point where I feel comfortable enough in my process to start consecrating and blessing these. So these are a little bit more of an ivory color due to the blessing substances they have in them. These are also consecrated and blessed, and as you can see, they are green Tara made with green clay. There's a variation in the shades of green because I colored this small batch of clay as I was going along. I did not color it all at one time, which I probably should have done. So I took some of the white I had that I had to, like I said, make a new batch of today. Not this was a different batch. So I made white, and then I decided I want to work some with green. So I had to test that first, so I took a little portion of the white clay that I made and turned it green. It worked. Remember, these still have to pass the drying test to make sure this clay does not crack. That's all I have left of the green. I have more of white, but like I said, having started doing only a half of a recipe of clay, now I'm going to probably stick to that because it's what works. Oh, I have one other interesting tip for you that made this an even more enjoyable experience for me. I already love making these. I think I could just keep going and going and going. But this time I did oil the molds, and I thought, why not use a tiny bit of essential oil? So all I did was take my brush, my little paintbrush, and I rubbed it around the top of the bottle of lavender essential oil. And that's what I used as a mold release, and I can smell it faintly on the clay, but I know by the time these dry there will no longer be a scent, so I wouldn't have to worry about that affecting anybody. But it's actually become an aromatherapy project when you do stuff like add essential oil. I know not everybody has that available, but you don't even have to pour a drop out of the bottle. There's already enough for my molds, just like I said, by taking the brush and rubbing it around the top of the bottle. So let's see, I wanted to try to show you a few of these up close. Like I said, they're still drying, so we don't know yet what's going to happen. The back's kind of rough, but I can make that look better. I'm not going to turn one of those. Well, let's see. Let's take one of these. Actually, that feels very sturdy. And like I said, it's not off-white because it's dirty. See, that could be potentially be a crack right there when it dries. So if these all fail, then I just have to start all over again. And they're not really dry at all, actually. But I really like the way the green ones turned out. Especially this one and this one. And actually that one. That one, I have a feeling, because of the colorant I used on these, that they're going to fade as they dry. I'll be right back. I want to show you something else. So, when I say just take the brush, oh, that doesn't have the proper dropper on it. Let me get a different one. In my collection of essential oil. It's over here. I use them regularly, so I keep them in my workspace. When I say all you have to do is brush the top around the opening of the bottle, all I did was brush it around here. And it was enough to oil the mold sufficiently. But again, this is a very soft dough I'm working with. I'll show you. I showed you the little tiny piece of green I have left. And this is how it looks in its uncolored form. Oh, there's a little pink spot of something pink there. So that's how it looks in its uncolored form. And I showed you that yesterday. Like I said, it's very soft. This is not hard to work with at all. Let's see. I may try something else again. Let's move this out of the way. I know I need something. Oops, sorry. Okay. I don't think this mold has any oil on it. But let's try what I did yesterday. Moving the camera around. So I have this white clay. Like I said, I don't think that mold is oil, has any oil on it. So I rolled it into that shape on the plate. Let's see. Voila. And that's not even how I finish these. I probably could, but how I do these is I actually press it down harder. So this is just like baking cookies, pretty much. And that's why I love this dough or clay that I have created. And I press it down harder so I can get more detail. Let's see now. See, it's still coming out. Okay, let me know what you think. Bye-bye.